In the last chapter, we looked at candlestick behavior inside important areas. Now we use that behavior after price breaks through an area. This is where the idea of break and retest begins. Price moves through a level, then price comes back to that same level. The question is not just, did it touch the line again? The real question is, did the market accept the break, or did the break fail? A break means price moves beyond a level or area that previously mattered. That level might be a range high, a range low, a supply area, a demand area, or a clear swing point. But a break is more than one candle poking through a line. A useful break shows that price is no longer respecting the old boundary in the same way. The stronger the close beyond the level, the more meaningful the break may be. A retest is the return back to the broken area. If price breaks upward through resistance, the retest is the return back down toward that old resistance. If price breaks downward through support, the retest is the return back up toward that old support. The retest is important because it gives the market a chance to prove whether the break has acceptance. It is where the old area gets tested again from the other side. The common phrase is roll flip. Old resistance can become new support. Old support can become new resistance. This does not happen because the line is magical. It happens because traders who were active around that area may respond again when price comes back. The area had memory. The retest asks whether that memory still matters after the break. Sometimes price breaks a level and never comes back. That can be frustrating for beginners because it feels like the move left without them, but chasing the move after it is already extended can create bad decisions. If there is no retest, there may be no clean lesson from this pattern. You can observe it, study it, and let it go. Break and retest needs both parts. Not every retest holds. Price can break upward, return to the broken level, pause for a moment, and then fall right back below it. That tells you the break did not gain strong acceptance. The market tested the level again, but buyers could not defend it. This is why the retest is not an automatic entry idea. It is evidence that must be judged in context. A cleaner break usually has a few traits. Price reaches the level with pressure. It closes beyond the level instead of only wicking through it. The next candles do not immediately snap back inside the old area. There may be follow-through in the breakout direction. None of this guarantees anything. It simply gives stronger evidence that the old boundary may have changed. A messy break is different. Price may wick through the level several times. Candles may close on both sides of the area. The move may look jumpy, crowded, or indecisive. In that case, calling it a clean break can be a mistake. The level may still matter, but the information is less clear. Beginners should learn to separate clean evidence from noise. When price returns to the broken level, candlestick behavior becomes useful again. Does the retest reject the level? Does price close away from the level? Does the next candle follow through? Or does price stall and drift back through the area? The retest is not confirmed by touch alone. It is confirmed or rejected by behavior after the touch. Break and retest teaches patience because it separates prediction from confirmation. Prediction says price broke the level, so the retest must work. Confirmation says price broke the level, returned to it, and then behaved in a way that supports the break. Those are very different ideas. A beginner does not need to know the future. They need a process for waiting until the chart gives more evidence. When support breaks, the broken support can become resistance. Imagine price bouncing from the same floor several times. Then one move finally closes below that floor. If price returns from underneath and struggles to get back above it, that old support may now be acting as resistance. The retest shows that sellers are still defending the area. That is a bearish roll flip. When resistance breaks, the broken resistance can become support. Imagine price rejecting the same ceiling several times. Then one move finally closes above that ceiling. If price returns from above and buyers defend it, that old resistance may now be acting as support. The retest shows that buyers are still defending the area. That is a bullish roll flip. The same idea applies to zones, not just thin lines. If a demand area breaks, the entire demand zone can become a future supply area. Price may return to the underside of that zone. If sellers respond there, the chart is showing a bearish retest. This is why zones are often more useful than single prices. The market may react within an area, not exactly at one line. If a supply area breaks, the entire supply zone can become a future demand area. Price may return to the top side of that zone. If buyers respond there, the chart is showing a bullish retest. Again, the area matters more than a perfect line. A clean retest may dip slightly into the zone and still hold. What matters is the response, not a one-tick touch. A fake break happens when price moves beyond a level but cannot stay there. For example, Price breaks above resistance, attracts attention, then quickly closes back below the level. That move may trap late buyers. It also tells you the breakout did not have acceptance. Fake breaks are one reason beginners should be careful with immediate breakout decisions. The retest and the follow-through help filter weak breaks. Break and retest is easier to read when it fits the larger trend. In an uptrend, resistance breaks and support retests often make more sense than random bearish ideas. In a downtrend, support breaks and resistance retests often make more sense than random bullish ideas. The trend does not guarantee success, but it helps you judge whether the break is working with the larger pressure or fighting against it. Inside a range, break and retest can be trickier. Range edges often create fake breaks. Price may push above the high, fail, and return inside. Price may push below the low, fail, and return inside. Until price clearly accepts outside the range, a breakout idea can be fragile. In ranges, beginners should pay extra attention to whether price holds outside the edge. Beginners often rush in three places. They rush on the first candle through the level. They rush on the first touch back to the level. Or they rush after price has already moved far away. All three can create emotional decisions. Break and retest is useful because it slows the process down. It asks you to wait for the break, the return, and the response. A simple beginner workflow has 4 steps. First, identify the level or zone before the break. Second, watch whether price closes beyond it with meaningful pressure. Third, wait for price to return to the broken area. Fourth, read the reaction after the retest. If one of those steps is missing, the idea is weaker. The workflow keeps the pattern from becoming a guess. The most common mistake is drawing the level after the move and pretending it was obvious. Another mistake is treating every retest as a trade. Another is ignoring the trend, the range, or the nearby supply and demand areas. A final mistake is demanding perfection. Price does not always retest a level to the exact tick. You are reading an area, a response, and the quality of the evidence. Here's the recap. A break means price moves beyond an area that previously mattered. A retest means price returns to that broken area from the other side. Old support can become resistance. Old resistance can become support. But the pattern is not confirmed by a touch. It is confirmed by the reaction, the candle behavior, and the broader market context. Break and retest gives you a structured way to study acceptance after a level breaks. But markets do not always break cleanly. Sometimes price pushes beyond a level, grabs orders, and then reverses back inside. That is where many beginners get trapped. In the next chapter, we will study liquidity sweeps so we can understand why some breaks continue and other breaks fail fast.